Online food delivery has redefined the meaning of fast food.
Did somebody say menu love?
Tonight, I'll be eating a chicken kebab with extra hot sauce. Thanks.
It's busy and tiring work, riding from restaurant to restaurant. Each job appears on an app, and it's first in, first served.
Thank you so much. Have an amazing day.
Many of the cyclists and scooter riders are foreign workers on student visas. But a series of rider deaths has drawn attention to the dangers. Since September last year, 5 riders have died. Dede Freddy hit by a car in Sydney's inner west, Jardwin Chen hit by a bus in Sydney's inner south, Chao Kai Shen hit by an allegedly stolen car in Melbourne's CBD, Bijoy Paul hit by a car in Sydney's south, and Eek Wong hit by a truck in Sydney's inner city.
These workers are falling through the gaps, and the result of that is that they are dying.
The first of the riders, 36-year-old Dede Freddy for Uber Eats, was hit by a car in Sydney's Marrickville, dying in hospital 3 days later. His story begins in Indonesia, where his wife and 4-year-old son were left behind in rural Bali. Widow Nyoman Senati is speaking for the first time to 7:30.
Kalau almarhum suami saya.
My late husband was a kind man. He loved our son and was dedicated to his family. He was a good father. He went to Australia for the sake of our son's future and for us to finally own a home. He hoped that he would get more money there than he would here in Indonesia.
After the accident, Nyoman Senati was unable to fly to Sydney to be with her husband.
While he was in ICU, I couldn't sleep. I kept praying for a miracle from God to grant him speedy recovery, but God had another plan. They took off his respirator and my husband stopped breathing. I saw it happen on a video call. At the time, I was in shock and could only think about how I would have to explain it to our son.
Nyoman says she's had no contact from Uber in the 5 months since Dede died.
Only the insurance company sent an email to provide them with my husband's documents. Uber hasn't contacted me at all.
As independent contractors, delivery riders don't share the same rights as employees. They don't have a minimum wage or paid leave, pay their own superannuation, and in New South Wales are not entitled to the same workers' compensation scheme that covers death and injury on the job. Each trip is worth as little as $5. For another Uber Eats rider, 27-year-old Bijoy Paul, life was on the up, finally realising his dream of studying a Masters of Engineering in Australia. He died 2 months after Dede Freddy hit by a car in Sydney's Rockdale.
He was not only my brother, he was my best friend. We used to live together in Sydney.
Bijoy's sister, Shimu, says he was paying his way through uni, as well as sending money back to their parents in Bangladesh. He would have graduated this year.
It is a massive loss for my parents. It's like a big loss. I can't explain how we're struggling at the moment. He had a promising career ahead of him, and he didn't deserve to die at work. That's why I think people should know the story of Bijoy.
The likes of Uber Eats, Deliveroo, record profits. Pretty much every job in this country could be Uberized, could be turned into a job where you get your work allocated by an app.
The deaths have shocked the broader community of delivery riders and prompted a union campaign for stronger protections for gig economy workers.
They're dying without the community blinking, and they're dying without these companies blinking. For them, it's just a blip on the bottom line.
The union now hopes to use the cases of Dede Freddy and Bijoy Paul to challenge the system in the courts. Uber maintains its private insurance policy covering its contractors already provides adequate protection, but some riders with the union say it's not enough. Uber Eats rider Elaine Tan was injured while delivering food in Sydney early last year and is still having trouble. She and her partner Kenny joined Uber after losing their hospitality jobs in the pandemic. They had to pay for their own safety gear, lights and helmets, as well as the delivery bags.
You usually need a food bag, but the Uber bags are too expensive, so we bought easy bags because they're cheaper. I was riding on the bicycle path and a car went to turn that way. The driver didn't see me and I was knocked down. The big bone here was broken, and with my lower back and my spine, there were fractures.
Elaine says the payments from Uber's insurance policy were not enough to cover her medical bills after her injury.
I really hope the government here will provide more protection for delivery riders like us, because life is really not easy for us.
730 sought an interview with Uber Eats, but it declined. The company told 730,
"Our hearts go out to the family and friends impacted by the recent devastating events. Safety is fundamental to Uber, and we are consistently striving to improve our systems and processes. We have also recommended that governments consider introducing a mandatory requirement for all platform businesses to introduce a minimum insurance package on behalf of independent workers."
A New South Wales task force is now investigating the 4 Sydney deaths to determine if they could have been avoided. In Sydney, a bus driver has been charged, while in Melbourne, a 20-year-old woman faces numerous charges, including culpable driving. 5 months on, Dede Freddy's widow, Nyoman Sanati in Bali, is still waiting for compensation under Uber's insurance policy. Her husband and father to her son died while serving a convenience to others.
Uber bertanggung jawab.
Uber needs to take responsibility for their workers and be fair, especially to those who have had accidents, who get injured or have lost their lives.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.